Okay, I just opened your theme that you emailed me, and immediately within 5-10 seconds, I found out what your problem is. You don't have a slider. That's why the class in the header.php file, the art page slider, wasn't there for you to replace it with a meta slider code. You think that this is a slider. It's not. It's a slideshow. It's a difference. There's a big difference between the two. This is a header slideshow. That's what it is. You need to use the slider. Okay. So if I export the code to make my point, and I'm going to use WordPress right now. Okay. So if we go to the header file, you are correct that there is no art page slider class anywhere in here because the slideshow is totally controlled by the one of the script files. I believe this file over here, and I don't want to mess with it. I don't know how to mess with it to begin with, so that's that. So what are your options? So my suggestion would be to first of all get rid of the slideshow and use a slider. So let's delete all the slides. Let me get rid of the last picture too and put something more generic. Let me change the height to about 150. Maybe that's too small, too big. It's gonna be your choice. Let's make it 200 right now. And let's add the sliders. So let me go to the slider menu on top. Choose a position that you want to use. So you have the outside, and that's going to be full width. That's going to be under the menu. You have another one over there. The more appropriate for this particular theme would be inside the sheet, like that. Alright, so immediately I see another problem coming up. Um, before fixing that problem, let me change the height to something more appropriate for this theme. Let's say 300. So the problem is your theme has a margin. I don't know if you want it to be like this, or you would prefer to get rid of the margins to make the slider fit perfectly in your theme. The other choice would be to leave the margins the way it is and then attack the problem through custom CSS, where you would get rid of the margins for the slider. The easiest method is to simply go to the sheet. Sorry, I keep saying margins. I meant padding. So I'm gonna get rid of the padding. Okay. Once I get rid of the padding, it's gonna fit perfectly now. Now we have two images by default. I'm gonna delete one of the slides, and we're down to one. Now if I export this code, so now we have the header, a static header, and then the slider underneath it. This is where we are going to replace the Artisteer slider and put the meta slider in there. So let me export this now. WordPress. And let's see the code. Header. Now, I would strongly recommend using Notepad++ or a similar editing tool because it's gonna make your life easier when you're trying to figure out all the classes. And as you can see, I've got the art page slider class over here, something that we didn't have before because we didn't have a slider before. Now we do. And once you put your once you click on that line, it's going to tell you where the div ends. So this particular div starts from here and ends there. So in this particular case, all you have to do is delete this code and put the code that meta slider gives you, um, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Let me show you some examples. Let me show you what I'm doing with WP Tuxedo. Now, whether it's Artisteer or even WP Tuxedo, it's not the end of the process of making templates, themes for me. It's just the beginning. I add a lot of customization, a lot of code to it on top of that. But with Tuxedo, the plugin does 80% of the work for me. So let me show you a couple of examples. I think I opened the wrong server. 1 second. I think it's this one. Yeah. Alright, so one of them is this. Let me open Valencia, and something that's going to be closer to your theme right now, it's going to be Miami. So there's one example over here. This is more of an open theme, open design, so it would be more appropriate for the slider to be present only in the home page. I have sticky menus. I've got font awesomes for the menus. A lot of things that I've added. WP Tuxedo is completely compatible with WooCommerce, so you can have e-commerce right now, and WooCommerce it's very powerful and becoming very popular nowadays. Another one that I have is Valencia. It's a little bit different in the sense that the slider is full width as opposed to um, the width of the page, of the sheet. And the one that's closer to your theme, I guess, would be my theme called Miami. Okay, last things I want to show you really quickly within 2 minutes because I don't want to bore you to death is show you what can be done with Tuxedo. So unlike Artisteer themes, Tuxedo doesn't have theme options. Instead, everything has moved to the customize screen. Okay, so over here you decide what's going to happen. So you have the usual stuff that we have in Artisteer over here. I've added the background image and background color if you want to change that. We have a style switcher. So with it, I can change the styles very easily. It went to blue, to a darker theme. It's basically the same theme, but different colors, different style that's been loaded. There's your green, there's purple, and so on and so forth. About responsive design. Now you can decide from the backside whether the site is going to be responsive or not. So let's say it's not responsive. So at this point, I turned it off. Let me turn it on again, and now you get the responsive. You can, ouch, you can decide whether the button, the menu button, the hamburger, how is it going to be aligned. So now you can decide whether it's going to be centered left or right. You didn't have that decision in Artisteer. So I've got it center, and you can change the text. It's saying menu. Let me change it to navigation to get an idea. Now it says navigation. And finally, when it comes to responsive menus, you can um, decide whether the visitors will get a switch to turn the responsive aspects of the theme on and off. So right now I'm saying show that switch, and that switch is at the bottom. If you click on the view desktop site, the responsive aspect of the theme is turned off, and they can turn it on, so the visitor now decides whether your website is going to be responsive or not. We have the favorite icons, and you have font awesome. Oh, we have a gridding system, columns for your posts, and you can decide it over here. Right now I'm showing the post titles, the metadata, showing experts, the excerpts, and basically the thumbnail image left aligned. When it's a smaller image, you can see it, and basically you can show it in 2 grids. Right now I'm showing it in 2 grids, and I can go from all the way to 4 grids. So if I want to change it to 3, it's done very nicely. And if you want to go to the default behavior of Artisteer, all you have to do is remove the grid, and you get that. And that's it. You have your WooCommerce stuff over here. You have your footer information over here, and that's more or less. I'm making it very simple and very quick, but that's the gist of it. Other things that I'm adding to my themes is that a lot of professional themes are using nowadays are Google fonts. So let me jump into the blog page really quickly. So I can go to the paragraphs and change the font. Okay. Not only the type of font that I'm using for the paragraphs, but also I can control everything about it. So that's the font. I can change the font color. Okay. I can change the background color if I wanted to, which I'm not. I can change Also the sizes, the font sizes, along with the line height, along with the letter spacing. So you got a lot of choices to make. And of course, if you change your mind, you can always reset it and go back to square one. So with the WP Tuxedo, you have to use custom menus, not your regular menus, but custom menus in order for you to have the font awesomes in your menus. Um, and there are many other things that Tuxedo doesn't do, but I added to my themes, such as toggles, accordions, tabs, and many other things, along with the sticky menu over here that opens up when you slide down, the page up thing over here, and that's it more or less. But for any professional, the WP Tuxedo, I think it's a must. It's going to be a great help. So how do you want to proceed? Give me a call tomorrow. My suggestion would be that you design your theme the way you want it, um, and the way I showed it to you. Put the slider in, whether it's a full width or the way I did it. Um, Decide on the height and how it's going to look, and then send me another file, and I'll export it both uh, in. I'll export it in WP Tuxedo, um, and we go from there. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.